very excited today, just loving life, grateful, successful treatment on last Thursday, although I was quite fatigued on the following day, but then I was able to go to the Colorado Black Arts Festival. And can I tell you a secret? It's the first time I went in my 7 years here. Oh my gosh. I know, I'm sorry. I was a workaholic and I've been delivered with a T. Hallelujah. Melanin on fleek today. Pay attention, pay attention. Hey, Brandon, sending you so much love. The Interfaith Alliance, love y'all dearly. Interfaith Alliance was very instrumental in supporting Soul to Soul Sisters. We got our 501c3. We are so excited to make things happen. Hey, sis. My sister Tony is on. She's at work, but she's not hiding. Tuesdays with Tawana. Yeah. Great to see y'all. Great to see y'all. Great to see y'all. So let's talk, because only have a few minutes and definitely want to talk about some stuff that we started talking about on last week when we talk about our scars and me choosing the scars that I want to live with. And hey, Ann, love you. I realized in my reflection, time that there are times when there are scars that we did not choose. We did not choose to live with them. We did not have a choice, or we made poor choices. Hey, Brianna, good to see you, sis. I want to show y'all something. There is a scar. I don't know if you can really see it. It's right there. So that scar actually saved my life. I did not choose this scar. I may have chose the scars that are across my breast implants, but I did not choose this scar. And this scar saved my life. As many of you know, I was in a domestic violence relationship, and there was a fight, abuse. The fight wasn't necessarily both ways. And there was a weapon involved, and I have a couple of nicks and stabs across my body. But it's this particular scar, as small as it seems, it bled as if my finger was severed, right? So it shocked the person and stopped them and kind of brought them back to a moment of reality, if you will. And I often look at this scar, and at times it brings tears to my eyes, because I know that this scar and many others have, it brings back some heinous and hurtful and horrible reminders. And at the same time, I'm still here. I'm still here. My scar is a reminder of my resilience, my healing, my courage to leave, my courage to love myself more than expecting someone else to love me more. Hey, Mama Lovey. Hey, Robin. Love y'all dearly. So when we talk about scars, when I talk about breast cancer, there are some breast cancer survivors that may even be triggered because they have scars and they have to deal with their scars. Or if I'm watching someone go through treatment, and last time this year, I didn't have hair. Last time this year, I was blessed to go on a cruise with my family, and I was so grateful for that. And I didn't have the energy to do what my family did. They went, swimming and partying and ziplining, and I chilled by the beach, drinking fresh smoothies, mango smoothies, and eating jerk chicken and rice. So scars. Some stories are different than others, right? Self-preservation is number one. So true. So true. A scar is a reminder of my resilience, because I'm still here to tell the story, and my story may not be somebody else's story, right? So my scars, I am in the process of healing. I'm in active treatment every 3 weeks for the rest of my life. Somebody else is in remission. Somebody else is deemed cancer-free. But yet, and I celebrate them, and I have to honor where I am and honor my scars and my healing and my resilience. And then I share my story. I share my story so that someone else might be encouraged and inspired. And then they share their story so that someone else might be encouraged and inspired. So Tuesdays with Tawanas is really just all about chopping it up and sharing stories. And we just got on this moment about scars to really share what goes on behind the scenes, right? Because social media, I share what I want to share. And there are times when I don't share, when I am extremely sad, when I am extremely frustrated, when God and I are having a real talk and real conversation about, really, God? This is going to be the rest of my life. I have to create a new normal. When I wake up in the morning, I truly thank God for another day, as we should anyway, I guess, right? For the rest of my life. And I have to honor that. And choosing to live with these scars means that I am living and surviving and thriving and grieving at the same time. We talked about that, right? Celebration and grief are they're not separate. They're intertwined. They're enmeshed somehow together, because we celebrate and grieve, and it's a part of life. It's the circle of life. So I have to choose how I live with my scars and choose how I respond when I look in the mirror. When I was first diagnosed and I was in this daunting treatment every 3 weeks for 6 cycles, I lost a tremendous amount of weight. I lost 50 pounds, lost all my hair. And when I would look in the mirror, I would be reminded of my mother, who died of multiple myeloma in 1993 when I was 23. And it reminded me of death every time I looked in the mirror. My mother gave me life. My mother's resilience gave me life, but she succumbed to her disease. So when I would look in the mirror, fear would then begin to fall upon me because I saw death. And then I had to hear Tammy Denise, who's a breast cancer survivor, and Mother Carolyn Habersham, and my Aunt Lorraine, and my mothers in ministry, and Mama Lovey, and those who were praying for me, the Yoruba priestess, the pastors, my sisterhood, my brotherhood would pray for me and pray for my strength and my resilience and my love and my peace and my hope in the midst of my healing. Because I didn't know, people would tell me, the infamous, they turn to scriptures because they don't know what else to say. God has plans for you. Well, God had plans for my mama too. Just her plans look different than mine. God had plans for someone else who might be in remission. I'm not in remission. I will live. This is my life for the rest of my life. 3 weeks, every 3 weeks in treatment, chemotherapy, immunotherapy in this port right here. I will live with this for the rest of my life. Have to create a new normal, right? So it gets sad sometimes. And sometimes I do cry and I fall to my knees and I'm discouraged. And then I think about the woman I prayed for after I preached at a local church here. This is America. And she's in a motorized wheelchair. And she said, Reverend Tawana, I used to do this, I used to do that, and now I'm confined to my wheelchair. Will you pray for me? So my prayer for her wasn't necessarily in words, take up your mat and walk, right? In the physical realm. But my prayer for her is to see God in the midst of this motorized wheelchair and creating a new life and a new normal and new things. Do you perceive it? That's what God's word says, right? I'm about to do a new thing. Do you perceive it? So when I live out loud, I do it because I want to perceive something different for myself and make the best of the moments that I have and make the best of my situation. It sucks. Cancer sucks. I get nauseous. I get tired. My life has changed. I'm creating new normals every day. And sometimes it's beautiful and sometimes it sucks. And I prayed for this woman that she will be able to see God in the midst of her situation and circumstance and define what it is, or co-define or co-create what it is that God would have her to do in the midst of her new normal. Yes, church on Tuesday, Pastor Mike, my friend, my buddy. Thank you for rocking with me on this journey. New normal. So prayed with her, walked away, and just cried, because the same prayer I just prayed for her, I needed to recognize it for myself. My journey is not somebody else's journey, but yet we can journey together. We can journey together, celebrating life, celebrating wholeness, celebrating healing. Like today, my girl Brittany is celebrating her last day of treatment today. Her last day of treatment is the beginning of her healing, the continuing of her healing. But this part of the book, the chapter, is now closed. So baby, when you ring that bell, I hope you take a video of it. But when we end that cycle of treatment, then it's on to the next segment of healing. It's a process. Trust the process. Mother Carolyn said to me one day, you know, it's good for God and it may not feel good for me. Ooh. It's not blasphemy. It's not heresy. I'm not disrespecting God. It's the truth. It's good for God, so I have to trust that God is working it out on my behalf. I may not see it, I may not know it, I may not even feel it in that moment, because the pain, the nausea, the fatigue is overtaking me. And then I have to breathe. And it reminds me of life. And it reminds me of the celebration. And it reminds me of what countless possibilities that we have. My pink sister Jackie, I love you to the moon and beyond. Tina, love you. See you when I get back. I have my residency next week, y'all. Y'all know I'm a PhD student. I told y'all before, chemo brain is real. Write my papers. My children are kind enough to do edits. My classmates are there to support me and cheer me on, and do live with my PhD in the midst of healing, in the midst of cancer, because cancer cannot. I love my village. I love my tribe. My time is just about up, but I do want to leave you with this. In this reflection time after last week and talking about scars, I realized that, and I said this a few moments ago, that there are some scars that we don't choose. We don't have a choice, or they are consequences due to our actions, but we still have an opportunity to heal. No matter the root cause, no matter the issue, no matter the person, we have an opportunity to heal that is not contingent upon the person that did the hurt, that contributed to the hurt. We have an opportunity, we have an opportunity, we have an opportunity to heal. Yes, cancer tried, but my soul won. My sister Jackie, that's her tagline. Cancer tried, but my soul won. Cancer cannot, hate cannot, racism cannot, sexism cannot, all of those things. Be encouraged. Choose to live with the scars. The scars are healing. They're a reminder of your healing. They're a reminder of resilience.